Colorado Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Shortline Subaru. Save money, drive better. Chevy. Stop into your Colorado Chevy dealer today to learn about the Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead. And by Jeep. And the unique brand of freedom you'll only find in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com. Avalanche begin a two-game homestand. They'll face the New York Islanders on Thursday. Their concentration here tonight against the San Jose Sharks, their only appearance in Denver this season. Let's look at tonight's Ford starting lineup, and we'll begin with the starting goaltenders.
Ante Niemi, of course, with the Chicago Blackhawks in 2010. Backbone to Stanley Cup for those Blackhawks, 4-2-0 this season. And Mikey is, when he's on, he's a big guy, strong, aggressive, much like Semyon Varlamov the other end, can control a hockey game. For Semyon Varlamov, solid against Winnipeg. He got them into overtime. He allowed them to overtime, sort of the fluky tip in overtime to lose that game, but was very good for the Avalanche.
We're set to begin, and Patrick Marleau facing off against Nathan MacKinnon of the Avalanche, and here we go. MacKinnon, Riley, Landeskog, the forward line. Back on D, former San Jose Shark Brad Stewart, and nearly 500 games with the Sharks, along with Tyson Barrie. Shot by O'Reilly, and the puck swept off the boards, but kept in by Colorado. Barrie's shot gets tipped, and then cleared out by Tyson Barrie. Peter, I didn't know whether or not we'd have to go visit him in the hospital after the game in Winnipeg. He took about the hardest hit. I've been watching Avalanche hockey for 20 years. I can't recall a hit like that.
Certainly not many. I mean,
that was a fair hockey.
Fair hockey. You see dirty hits.
Yes.
But nothing that was like, there's nothing illegal about the hit at all. And how cool was it that he came on and talked to us between periods?
Shot whistles wide of the net. And then Karam's around the boards, kept in. Burns, he's playing defense. Look, he's been a defenseman in his career with Minnesota. A little bit was San Jose, but there's a shot that gets tipped to the side of the net. Had been playing forward with the Sharks, but back on D, and he has a rocket from the point.
Oh, and Michael.
Did Varlamov? Are you talking about Varlamov,
yes,
Peter?
I'm talking about Varlamov.
Yeah, he was in an awkward position there after that puck was tipped out of play. Watch Varlamov here, Peter.
Yeah, here's the shot go through, and Varley. That's the first one. The second one that got spit back, he kind of, Mikey, looked like he was uncomfortable getting up.
But Burns, Peter, they've got him back on defense, and he is racking up some points. 8 assists, 11 points this season for Burns from that defensive spot.
And points, Mikey, talk about consistent points in 8 of the 10 games.
We started off the season on a 5-game point streak. Scott Hayden turns the puck around the boards for the Avalanche. Travels out to center. The Sharks team hadn't lost 4 games in a row until Sunday night when they went into Anaheim against the Ducks, who many folks feel, Peter, if they're not the top team in the National Hockey League right now, they're in the top 2. The Ducks, and they beat them 4-1
in Anaheim, and it was a nasty affair.
It is caught by Varlamov, and he holds the puck for a faceoff.
One of the most interesting young men in the game. Brent Burns, as you mentioned, he was originally drafted by the Minnesota Wild, and Jacques Lemaire was teaching him to play defense as he was playing as a forward. But when he first came over to San Jose a couple of years ago, he was a defenseman. Last year, he had 50 points as a forward, including 22 goals. And what a horse! When they put him, Thornton, Marleau, and Burns out together, holy cow, is that a big group?
Back to the point, Vlasic. Shot goes wide of the net. And Peter, he is some kind of free spirit. Tattoos, long hair, big beard. Man, he lives life like he wants to live.
Absolutely.
We got a nice call on the Avalanche.
And you know, he does that one thing, Mike, that I just can't. He has snakes. Ah, caramba. And that is just, you got to draw a line somewhere.
A pet? Snakes?
But just a terrific guy, and always so easy to talk to. Just a, as you say, just a fun guy.
Peter, I really believe you need more characters in the game. You need one of them.
Well, I think there's enough characters. I think what hockey players do very well is they keep it under wraps. You know, they're very good about not letting you know their true personalities. There's plenty of characters out there.
At center ice, Danny Briere. A couple of game-winning goals this season for Colorado. Chips the puck in. Turned back the other way. Avs in the midst of a change. As the puck retrieved behind the net by Barry. Flicks the backhander out to center ice. The puck will roll on into the San Jose zone. Backhanded around. Then up the far wing. Tipped out to center ice. In his own zone, Stewart bangs it off the board, sending it back into the Shark zone. No icing on the play. Vlasic will take it from his goaltender. Onto Niemi. A steal. Here's a chance. Cutting across, shot, and it was tipped wide. Wraparound try again and covered by Niemi. Oh, Landeskog had a golden opportunity. He cut across after making a steal.
Yeah, when you're watching it, I mean, this is just good forechecking by this line, and this line's had some good jump early. You see, MacKinnon is right there. I mean, his pressure caused that turnover. He was on Vlasic real quick, and believe me, Vlasic, gold medal winner last year with Canada. He is a terrific defenseman, and the pressure caused him to make that poor pass.
Here's a line out for the Avalanche. Duchesne, Tanguay, Iginla. And they've found some chemistry. This line, it seems like, Peter, the last couple of games, every time they're out, they seem like a threat to score. You just feel like they got something going every time they're on the ice. Back on defense, Erik Johnson, Jan Hayter. Erik Johnson with the puck. Long pass through the middle. We talked about earlier how Tyson Barrie, we're fortunate to see him back in the game. Good thing Erik Johnson back as well after his injury in the last game against Winnipeg.
And Todd McLellan's club, look at these numbers. Have they come out strong in their 10 games? In 7 of the 10 games they've had the first goal of the game, 12-1. But then, Mike, it almost completely reverses itself. In the third period, they scored 8 but allowed 15. 1 goal allowed in 10 first period, 15 goals allowed in 10 third periods.
Puck retrieved behind the net, Jason Demers. Puck ricocheted around, held in at the point by Holden for Colorado. Rolling along the end boards, Jamie McGinn. He wears number 11 for the Avalanche. The guy to watch for the Sharks, number 25 for San Jose. That's his brother Ty. Centering pass in front, and Varlamov got run over, but he makes the save. That was Matt Nieto trapped in the net. There's going to be a penalty on San Jose. Shot goes wide of the net. Wonder if it'll be goaltending interference. MacKinnon coming back to get to the puck. Delayed penalty on San Jose. Extra skater out for Colorado. MacKinnon shoots. Save made by Antti Niemi. And the Sharks touch the puck. And the Avalanche will get the first power play chance of the game.
Well, listen to the call.
Sharks goaltender interference.
The right side of your screen, 83, driving into the net. And Mike, you know, from San Jose's point of view, when they're sitting on the bench, they probably thought he was pushed in, but he actually just drove right in on top of Semyon Varlamov. And the call was made by the other referee, but the referee came in and said, "We made the call."
Number 83, at the end of 2 minutes.
Shot by Johnson, save made by Niemi. Centering try, blocked. The Avalanche have been really good lately on the power play. If they have score, lucky winner will get Avalanche tickets to an upcoming game, courtesy of American Lifestyle Furniture. Go to afwonline.com/altitude. 3 games in a row with a power play goal for Colorado. 4 for 13 in that stretch. That's over 30% in the last 3 games. MacKinnon shot rising. That one comes around the boards, but held at the point. Down low, kicked off the skate of O'Reilly. Chipped into the corner. San Jose, they haven't been great on the penalty kill this season. Ranked 17th in the league, 21st on the road. Centered, shot, save. And the rebound comes to MacKinnon.
Mike MacKinnon's flying.
I was just going to say that, Peter. He looks like he's got that step back, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
And not only that, but he's shooting.
He's all over the puck.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on, Peter. Great observation. He really is skating. And when that's happened, boy, he just creates so many opportunities for himself, for other players. Steal. Marleau cutting in. Shot! Oh, sharp save made by Varlamov on Pavelski, who scored a lot of goals in his career and a lot of big ones against the Avalanche. Sent by Burns into the Colorado end. And there are 15 seconds left in the Nieto penalty for goaltender interference. Barry drops the puck, gives to Duchesne, back to Barry, cuts along the end line, rolled around the boards, but the puck is going to come out of the zone, and Nieto comes out of the penalty box. So the Sharks kill the penalty. A couple of shots for the Avalanche during that 2-minute power play opportunity. Duchesne backhands the puck in. Yet left behind the net by Niemi. Long pass to center ice for Thornton. Earlier this season went over the 1,200 point mark. Let's see the speed for McKinnon. We've seen it early in this shot. Glove save made by Niemi. McKinnon playing with some confidence here in this game against San Jose, but it is scoreless between the Sharks and the Avalanche in the first period. Let's look at who's in the groove, presented by Groove Subaru.
Well, it's the Colorado Avalanche power play. Over the course of the last 3 games, as we mentioned, they've had goals in all 3 of those games, 4 goals overall. And most importantly, I think they scored on 2 consecutive 5-on-3s that they had, and that's always so important inside a game. And for Patrick Roy, my guess, he does every day. Yesterday at practice, today at morning skate, power play first. When the ice is good and everybody's fresh, that's when he wants to work on it.
Been paying off of late. Avs, though, did not score on that power play opportunity they had earlier in this period. Back to even strength. Cleach, Briere, McLeod, the forwards out, along with Redmond and Holden on defense for Colorado. Sharks get to the puck, scooped out towards center ice by Nieto. Back into the Avalanche zone. Redmond playing his 3rd game this season for Colorado. He went from 12 minutes of playing his first game. He had over 20 minutes of playing time in the game against Winnipeg. Now, the Avalanche did get down to 5 defensemen in the game, but still, that shows you what the coaches have thought about Redmond's play.
Oh, absolutely. He was up and around 11 after the 2nd period, but then Johnson got hurt in the 3rd.
With the puck, carried out towards center ice by Mirko Mueller. His pass with the line gets tipped. Slug back out to center. Burns, wide, shoots. Oh, man. He can really shoot it. Moving across with a chance, and the shot gets slowed up and stopped. Adam Bursch was cutting across, trying to get a scoring chance. Stewart plays the puck off the boards, kept in momentarily by Demers, scooped up by Mitchell, the Avalanche. Backhands it ahead, charges after the puck, handed on him. Puck comes around the wall, passed out towards center for Burns, got tipped. Back across through the center zone, down the wing. Desjardins puts the puck behind the net. Up the wall, Demers. Kept in on the near side. That is Ty McGinn, number 25. And that's there they are. There's the 2 brothers. And Jamie and Ty talking to each other, Peter.
Well, Jamie gets bragging rights a little bit. When you look at how the McGinn brothers were drafted, Jamie was a 2nd-round pick by San Jose back in 2006. The pick 36 overall. Ty, the 4th round to Philadelphia, he was a 20-year-old draft. Remember, you could start at 18 to draft. And then the younger brother, Brock, to Carolina, he went the 2nd round, number 47 overall. Imagine that, 3 sons drafted in the National Hockey League.
Parents have got to be very proud, and they are here tonight to watch 2 of them. Jamie and Ty, who just moments ago talking on the ice after the puck went into the stands. Jamie out of the net to play. One-hands it around the board. Scoop back to the point. Hayden gives to Johnson. His pass skipped away to the corner. Chopped up the slot. Logan Couture skates out to center. Dumped in. Varlamov scoops the puck along the end board. Stolen away, centered high in the slot, stretching. Burns, long reach, able to gather it in, cuts across, and he got decked as he came into the crease area to the point. Shot, score! A sizzling shot from the blue line by Mirko Mueller. And for the 8th time out of 11 games this season, the San Jose Sharks have scored the first goal of the game.
Mike, you may not have heard a lot about this kid. This kid is 19 years old, and he is playing with Burns as a defensive pair.
There's a couple of shots there, Peter.
Oh, a couple of shots. But he's 6'3", 205. Everybody in San Jose says the same thing. Reminds him a lot of Vlasic. Vlasic, pardon me, when he first broke into the National Hockey League. Great poise. He's going to get bigger and stronger as he goes along. But you imagine that, at 19, being that guy back on the point, playing with Burns. And Burns, like, did he cause some trouble in front of that net?
So it's 1-0 as we give you our Jeep scoring summary. The goal by Mueller is first. Joe Thornton, Brent Burns with the assist. No surprise on Thornton. He just continues to rack up those assists. And for Mueller, that's got to feel pretty good. That was a strong shot from the point.
Yeah, and you know, so many of these young kids, that number 10 game is that game you have to decide whether you're going to keep a guy. So he's right on the bubble right now for the San Jose Sharks.
As you always say, Peter, score goals, hard to take you out of the lineup.
I'm a firm believer in that.
McGinn has the puck. It's a wise hockey.
Isn't that something? Hey, can I not
If he's smart, he's probably going to stay in the lineup.
That was the only player in the history of hockey who was incapable. Even if I scored, the coach wanted to get me out.
They like the way you did that, McNabb. Pass through the middle. Scott Hannon's got it for San Jose. Into the head. Got it blocked. Has to retrieve the puck back in the zone, but they stop the action as the Avs get called for icing. 9:46 remaining. First period. San Jose is struck first and lead 1-0. Let's look at the winning combo brought to you by Blackjack Pizza.
Well, you're looking at a couple of situations. Control Shark superstars. They have some all-time great players. Marleau, Thornton, kid like Burns coming along, Couturier coming along, like Pavelski. They got to control them.
1-0 Sharks. Mueller with the goal. Shots are even at 6. Snap shot from the point. Blocked, scooped up by Thornton. Muscle his way along the boards. The corner. Going to bounce off a hit. Does so. Back to the point. Tipped on net. Save. Thornton down low. Back in it. What a save. And a shot at the post. Another shot. No. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. I can't believe that puck didn't go in. That was amazing. And Varlamov, spectacular. It remains 1-0, but I don't know how that is possible.
Well, Hurdle was just shaking his head when this was over. The Sharks had 4 chances, Mike, to score. 1, there's right there, the tip. 2 coming across the pad save. 3, it hits the crossbar. And 4, Thornton shoots it back into the glove body of Varlamov. Hurdle at the end of the whole play. Watch Thornton right here. The puck comes across to him, and he shoots it, and somehow Varley keeps it out of the net. That is,
he did a complete 360 down on the pads, making those saves.
You always like to say, let's see if we look back at that save as a key point in this period and possibly game.
Instead of 2-0, and Sharks feeling really good about themselves. The Avalanche now go, you know what? Our goaltender got it going tonight. The puck is lifted into the bench area, out of play. 9 minutes left, first period. 1-0 San Jose. And they've had the last 4 shots. And that was a sequence there that was amazing. Face off back in the San Jose zone. After the face-off, the puck scooped up, passed by Burns, tipped down the ice into the corner. After Johnson, he gets checked, roll up the wall for Briere, lifted after center, tipped by Mueller, cutting across. Burns will scoop up the puck for the Sharks. Up the wall, a tap pass, into the head, down the wing, and Burns jumping up in the play. His pass centered in front. Another nice save by Varlamov. And there was Nieto again crashing the net. He got a goaltender interference call earlier for doing exactly that. Pass to the side. Tierney put it off the side of the Avalanche net. And it's cleared away by the Avalanche. But right now, a lot of pressure in the Avalanche zone, Peter.
They're getting that puck and they're entering and driving at the net. And, you know,
Pavelski cutting across. He's there. He shoots. Another nice save made by Varlamov. Dangerous. Pavelski, he just was allowed to walk right in and get a chance.
good, crisp passing by the San Jose Sharks right now is freeing up a lot of people. Here's Burns again. Nice little play. I mean, Mike, that's an imaginative, smart play. You look at the guy that's 6'5", 225, 230 pound defenseman making those kind of plays, jumping up into the play. He is so dangerous right now, and he's showing us why he's playing so well early.
To the point, shot blocker save made by Varlamov. Peter, he's got a touch of, maybe it's just the size that makes you think of it, but there's a little touch of that Dustin Byfuglien in terms of just kind of around the ice, moving around just with that size, doesn't he?
Well, no, he's got to put on about 50 pounds.
The puck again covered by Varlamov, who has been very busy here in this first period of play. Avs are leading in faceoffs. They've won 8. Sharks have won 6 here in the first period. Another faceoff in the Avalanche zone. And the Thornton line is out. He's got Pavelski taking the draw. Matt Duchene has got his line out. And the Avalanche get the puck. They win another faceoff. They're leading in that category here in the first. Icing waved off. The speed of McGinn. But the puck does get bounced out to center. 2-on-1. Hurdle. Shot! And he missed the net. And that one caromed out of play. Once again, though, Peter, another clear scoring chance for the Sharks. Things seem to be calming down after the linesmen get involved and separate the two teams. Luxury has an address. Cooney Lexus invites you to see the full line of Lexus all-weather drive sedans and luxury utility vehicles for 2014. Available at Cooney Lexus of Greenwood Village and Colorado Springs.
Well, the Avalanche are in need of, and you say it so often, that momentum changing shift. Someone's got to get down, pound down low, and get things going offensively for the Avalanche, because right now it's really starting to tilt towards the Avalanche net.
Burns against Mitchell with a face-off. Everybody's got their sticks down. McGinn, his shot blocks. Loose puck. Shot. And another save by Varlamov. Turned around the wall for Tanguay. Skates out to center. Tanguay, Landeskog, and Mitchell out right now for the Avalanche. Pushed around. Stopped by Landeskog. Trying to center. Mitchell chipped it across for Landeskog to take. Tangled up in the corner with Justin Braun. Puck worked back towards the blue line, kept in by Mitchell behind the net for Landeskog. Puck rolls free, but the Avs right on it. Pass by Tanguay, angles back towards the blue line. Shot goes wide of the net. Tanguay's got it. This is the shift that is happening for the Avalanche. They're keeping the puck in the San Jose zone. Barry backhands it deep. And a collision between Landeskog and Tanguay. Landeskog is on top of the puck. And long enough for a whistle. But there was a shift there, Peter. A new line combination for the team. And right now, something happening for the Avs. Let's check in with Julie Browman.
Hey guys, just a reminder that 9 members of the U.S. Women's National Team are taking in the game tonight. The team in town this week for training camp at DU. They're preparing for the Four Nations Cup in British Columbia. Now circle the date on your calendar. November 5th, the U.S. takes on Canada for the first time since the Olympics. We're going to talk to U.S. head coach Ken Klee, who used to be an Avs defenseman, at the first intermission. Guys.
All right, thanks very much, Julie. Peter, you know I have a soft spot in my heart for women's hockey. My daughter plays. And I'm looking forward to seeing those very talented girls play.
And are they athletes? A couple of them came down to me, interviewed by Julie, and they just carry themselves so wonderful. And they're just, I mean, they are just strong, wonderful athletes.
If you have not had a chance to see top-notch women's hockey in person, take the opportunity and go watch some of those games. Puck in the corner, scooped along, and once again the Sharks with possession, but a backhand pass right up the middle. Ends up coming down the ice. Emmy gives to Byrne. Pass tipped in, scooped right back out by Stewart. Sharks in the middle of a change. Get possession back in their own zone. Pass comes to Demers. Long pass through the neutral zone. Shot in towards the corner. Holding for the Avalanche off the glass and out. 18 shots, Peter, in this period. That's the most shots by an opponent this season in one period against Colorado. And there's still another 5 minutes to go. We'll be back. Sharks lead the game 1-0. Mueller with the goal. All right, let's ask you the Did You Know question, brought to you by Stevenson Automotive. Here's the question tonight. How many brother duos have played at least one game this season? Text your answer to 53548. Win some tickets to an upcoming game.
Well, that'll... Again, Jamie McGinn, Mike, as you mentioned, a couple goals in each of the last couple of games for the Avalanche. And one thing about Jamie McGinn, few players in the Avalanche know themselves better. He knows what he has to do. He knows exactly what he has to do to play well. He's got to be physical. He's got to drive to the net, and he's got to be that guy that is strong along the boards.
He talks about going to the, he said to the dirty areas to be able to score goals, and boy, he's as good as there is on the Avalanche team, doing exactly that. Pass up ice. Skip down, hurdle after it, but whistle's been blown. Icing is the call on San Jose.
Well, it would have been interesting, Mike, wouldn't it, if Thomas Hurdle had remained healthy all of last year. The battle between him and McKinnon would have been something, because he was just lighting it up before he got injured. He got injured in a collision with Dustin Brown, and it tore his knee up, and he didn't quite have the same jump afterwards, but he was off to a terrific start.
And a little pizzazz to his game, which is fun to watch.
You saw him put his hands on his head after he got stopped right there. You know, a lot of guys won't show that.
Pavelski against Mitchell for the faceoff. Sharks have the puck. Hurdle to the corner. Rolled free. Chipped out to center. Landeskog, Mitchell, and Tanguay. Shot. It's tipped. And the puck has gone out of play. So we've seen early in this going, Peter, 12 consecutive shots for San Jose. Over 8 minutes without a shot for the Avs. And Coach Waugh changing up the line combinations, trying to get a spark going.
But we've seen this since Patrick Waugh joined the Avalanche last season. When he's uncomfortable, things aren't quite going. He doesn't mind scrambling things up a little bit.
He has kept this line together, though. Cliche, Briere, and McLeod. Barry, Redmond on defense. Sharks with the puck. Ty McGinn tipping the puck in. Redmond handles the puck for Colorado. Backhands it off the glass. McLeod going to chip it out. Kept in by San Jose. Worked along the wall. They got it into the corner for McGinn. Ty McGinn. Police for the Avalanche. The puck stays in play in the Avalanche zone. Behind the net is Zach Redmond. 4 minutes left to go in the period. Redmond feeds his way to the red line. Shoots the puck around the boards to the San Jose zone. Pass comes through. Quickly up ice. Sharks are on the move. Marleau throws to the boards with the puck. Turns and shoots. Save made by Varlamov. Back to the point. Kept in by Mueller. He's got the goal in this game. Strong shot from the point. Burns cruising around. He turns. He shoots. That puck comes off his stick. Like a lightning. Behind the net. Handled by Wingels. Threw it out in front. Kept at the blue line for a moment by Burns. And as it bounced away, had to chip it. Duchesne picks up. Trying to skate around Burns. Behind him for O'Reilly. The corner for Duchesne. Back towards the high slot. Handled by Hayda. She's wide of the net. O'Reilly gonna drop it for Iginla. Bounced away, and Marlowe skate into the center zone with possession. On for the defenseman Mueller. Shoots it around the shelf. Scooped up by Thornton. Skates behind the Avalanche net. Still controlled. Center. Shot blocked. Shot by Arrow. Another save by Varlamov. That's now 20 shots and 19 saves in this first period by Semyon Varlamov. There's going to be a penalty on the Avalanche. Is that Ryan O'Reilly?
I was going to say,
wow.
The rarest of the rare, Mike. We could have seen
One
Ryan.
penalty last year, late in the season. And he takes one in game 10 this year.
Well, if you're going to be a goon, you got to start it early. You know? but here again, Thornton. Boy, I'll tell you, you talk about this generation. No, this is his 18th year in the league. But here's the penalty coming up the wall right here. Just gets in the way. But Thornton finds people so effortlessly, if that's even a word. But it has been always.
We call it a McNabism. It's okay. So it's okay.
It's okay, yeah. I just misspoke, that's all.
You were misspeaking? With the puck, Wingles
Number 90.
trying to go back to the other point.
2 minutes.
It's a power play chance for San Jose.
Time of the penalty, 17 minutes, 18
Their first of the
seconds
game.
the first period.
They've been good this season, especially on the road. They're third best in the league. They've scored 9 power play goals total this season. So O'Reilly for interference at 17-18. Tip to the corner. Varlamov with 21 saves already in this game. Niemi had it bouncing. He could not go into that corner area, or that would have been a penalty. Power play, San Jose up 1-0 in the first period. Pass through the middle for Thornton. For Burns, slides it free. Couture pulls up, back to the point. Burns got the big shot. Back to Couture, below the circle the pass. Thornton, that big body to protect the puck. Rifles the pass back for Burns, slides it across. Couture takes the puck. Shot through traffic, save made by Varlamov, and then Johnson trying to push it back, and it's underneath him. It comes free. Center, and rolled away from Pavelski. Burns! He ripped that shot. Varlamov was standing on top of a stick that was dropped by Cody McLeod.
And Varley went right up to Johnson, gave him a pat in the rear end after that play. You're gonna watch Johnson right in front. Now the puck, no one's quite sure where it is. You see him dive down. Now there's skates down there, and he was just trying to not put his hand on it and not cover it, because it would have been a penalty.
He does it in the crease. It's a penalty shot. Marlowe, pass down low. Broken up by Holden. Snapped it hard and out. So far, 2 shots for San Jose on this power play opportunity. 20 seconds remaining in the O'Reilly
1
penalty.
minute remaining in the period.
Aired up the middle by Pavelski. Goes wide for Burns. Dropped it. Intercepted by Stewart. Throws it up the wall. Kept in play by Thornton. Nice play made by Stewart. Taken away from his former teammate. Chopped it away. So, key penalty kill. Boy, the special teams for the Avs have been good this season. Power play's been working well lately. Penalty kill's been very good. 30 seconds left to go in the period.
They've only allowed 1 power play goal against at home.
A total of only 2 shots on goal during that power play opportunity for the Sharks. Vlasic gives away the puck. The point, Hayda to Johnson, to Duchesne, backhander, blocked by Burns. Chips the puck, but did not get it away. Back to the point, Hayda drills it, and that blocked and fires a chance. Diving save by Ante Niemi. With 1.5 seconds left to go, Niemi, who has not been very busy for the last 10 minutes, has to make a nice save.
The Avalanche get a little bit of offensive spark on this last shift, and again, sort of Mike, we're looking at a little bit of a return line. Remember last year, of course, O'Reilly and Duchesne were a pair all season long. O'Reilly on the left side, Duchesne in the middle.
Mitchell take the face-off. Landeskog parked right behind him, and then there are 3 players to Mitchell's right. Landeskog had to dribble away, and that ends the first period of play. But the star certainly during that first period was Semyon Varlamov. Oh my, he made 22 saves in the period, Peter. 22.
And for the San Jose Sharks, it's a continuation of the pattern that they've had all season long. 8 out of 11 times now they scored their first goal. They're outscoring the opposition in the first period 13-1.
Mirko Mueller with the only goal during that first period. The Sharks lead 1-0 in favor of, after 1 period of play. So the San Jose Sharks, Peter, what a period they had. A total of 36 shots at the net. 23 of them went on target. They had 7 that missed, 6 that were blocked. I mean, that was a display by San Jose.
And for the Avalanche, they simply can't allow that to happen again. I mean, at some point, Semyon Varlamov is just not going to be able to make the number of saves he did in that first period.
All right, let's take a look at our Lexus on the ice.
There's only one player that we could talk about in that first period for the Avalanche. That's Semyon Varlamov. The Avalanche are in this game. They're down by 1, but they're in this game because of the play of Semyon Varlamov. He was focused. He was on the puck. Maybe you want to say a little bit lucky, but he made just a miraculous save on Thornton right there after a puck bounced off the crossbar. And that's sort of the feeling San Jose had all period. What do we have to do to beat this guy? Just a 1-1, Mike. And I think they have actually changed that goal to Brent Burns. He deflected that puck in front of the net, so he gets credit for his 4th of the season.
For the Avalanche, in one sense, you survived that first period thinking, all right, all we need now is a bounce, and we got ourselves a tie game.
Absolutely.
23-8 shot advantage for San Jose. 1-0 lead for the Sharks. Offside. Called on San Jose in the early going of our second period.
And I was interested to see would Patrick Roy stick with the same lines that he ended the period with, and it looks like at least one line will be the same, with a reuniting, if you want, of Duchesne and O'Reilly, left wing center, and Ginla on the right side.
Tanguay had been on that line, but the change is made. Duchesne paired up, as Peter said, with O'Reilly and Ginla early in the second period of play. Behind the net, Ginla into the corner. Played up the wall for Duchesne. Pass through the middle. Ginla has to go off his skate. Kicks in. Chasing the puck. Works his way along the end boards. Classic. Turns it around and out to center ice. Couture coming in. Going by Johnson. He deeps. He turns. He shoots and misses the net. And the puck's still loose. Wiggles gives to Couture. Fanned on a pass. Still with the puck. Moves it up the wall. Back towards the point. Held in by the Sharks. On the near side, Pavelski centers. Thornton works his way to the blue line, and his pass comes out of the zone. Recovered by Burns. Pass up the middle, directed across for Hertl. San Jose is offside.
Logan Couture, like we haven't talked about him tonight, but this is the next star for the San Jose Sharks. Watch him. Like, he didn't even look like he was moving, and he just blew by the defenseman.
Right? Deceptive speed there.
Exactly, but he is a terrific player. I mean, he's one of the really good young players in this league. As Marleau and Thornton sort of get older and deeper into their careers, he's that guy this team is going to be centered around.
Mitchell tossed away from the face-off. Landeskog will take the draw.
And that was Johnson. Then he went by, and Johnson could skate. I mean, Johnson is one of the absolutely best Avalanche defensemen as far as a skater.
Drops the puck for Burns to take. Hooks it into the corner. Chris Tierney up ice. And Shepard couldn't punch the puck into the Colorado zone. Coming back for it, Landeskog. Sends it across for Johnson. He finds Jan Hayda from the team benches. Landeskog stripped of the puck. Mueller hands it to Eto right up the middle. Sailed by everybody and results in the San Jose Sharks being called for icing.
Oh, Mike, we are just getting to that 10-game mark for most of the teams, but there's 12 games tonight. And there's some big ones in the Western Conference. Minis at Boston after that unbelievable ending in a 5-4 loss to the Rangers last night. Montreal's at Calgary. Calgary playing well. How about Vancouver? They're in Carolina. Edmonton, you know, they've won 4 in a row.
Break up the Oilers, huh? Shot from the point goes wide. That's a team, Peter, that started the season like it was just going to be.
Oh, it's just going to be a disaster, you know. And they certainly turned it around. 3-0 win last night over Montreal.
Burns behind the net. The hand took a hit. McKinnon in front. Shot tipped wide by Talbot. Then Burns crushed Talbot into the crossbar, and Burns will get a penalty for that. Oh, so close for the Avalanche to tying up the game.
This is, Mike, this is just that one of those classic situations when it's offensive, they're not going in. But you're going to miss chances like this. Talbot, right there. Puck just comes across. It comes across real quick. So if he doesn't catch it pure, Mike, anything can happen on that play. But then he just gets hammered. Well, now it's time for this power play that has been, you know, Mike, good over the course of the last 3 games. To get this crowd going, get some excitement on that bench.
After weathering what the Sharks had going for them in the first period, the Avalanche now with a power play chance could tie this up. Change the complexion of the game. Iginla steps in for the draw. Duchesne feeds back for Tanguay. One-timer, save by Niemi. The puck squirts free. Hit by Duchesne. On the inboards for Iginla. To McGinn. Iginla takes the pass. Power play chance. Burns for interference at 2:15. That's giving the Avs their second power play chance of the game. Iginla down low. Pass in front. Tipped. That allows Desjardins to move the puck ahead. Shooting it into the Colorado zone. 1:20 left in the Burns penalty. Left at the red line, brought in by Duchesne to Iginla. Back to the point for Barry. Finds Tanguay to Barry. Over towards Iginla. Shot and gloved by Niemi. Coach Waugh said this morning, Peter, is talking about what are they doing well in the power play. And as you pointed out in that Winnipeg game, it's just about, Coach Waugh said, you know what, things have changed in the power play. You don't want all that tic-tac-toe passing. Shoot the puck. Try to get rebounds and tips.
Yeah, you're looking for a little confusion down low because everyone is so good at the system. They kill penalties, and the sticks are in the right passing lane. They've analyzed your power play. They know what you're going to do, so you have to be quick with the shot on net.
Johnson will move the puck to center ice. Cross-ice pass. Landeskog comes in. He shoots high. 40 seconds left in the Burns penalty. Marleau going to squeeze the puck into the center zone. Hounding Johnson. Makes the pass across for Holden. Up ice for Landeskog. Able to gain the blue line. McKinnon stayed onside. Holden to O'Reilly. Down low. Pass in front. Picked off by Vlasic. Up off the boards, but did not get it out. Shot wide of the net. Avs keep the puck in play. In the San Jose zone. Holden. One-timer by O'Reilly missed. And the puck comes off the inboards and then carried out to center ice by Burns. Reaches the red line. Shoots the puck in, and that'll do it. Burns comes out of the penalty box, and the Avalanche 0 for 2 on the power play. They had a total of 5 shots in their 2 power play opportunities. 2 on that last power play chance.
Good work by, San Jose down low. Nice Vlasic stick on the ice. Exactly what we were talking about, Mike. Everybody has their sticks in the passing lanes, taking away those shots. Those passes used to work, believe it or not. And nowadays, the defensemen are just so sharp at stopping them.
Joe Thornton against John Mitchell for the faceoff in the Colorado zone. Went on the draw. And a shot by Hurdle hit the side of the Avalanche net. Hurdle. Bounce pass to the point for Burns. Shot through traffic. Missed the net. Talbot lobs the puck to center. Burns, who has had the puck a lot in this game, touching his stick. Cross for Burns. Up ice for Thornton. Short pass. Hurdle tips the puck. Stewart. And across for Talbot. This pass intended for McGinn was touched by Thornton. Outlet pass comes to center ice. Punched in from center by Colorado. Demers back to get it. Rubbed up against the boards by Mitchell. But San Jose retains possession. Pass by Nieto to center for Shepard. Puck in. And it hit the shelf and then jumped up over the glass, hitting the netting. And the puck has gone out of play.
Well, for the San Jose Sharks, Mike, we haven't touched on it yet. They had as disappointing a loss as it was for the Avalanche in a 7-game series. Theirs was worse, if you can believe it. The Avalanche had the lead 4 times in Game 7 and couldn't quite get to close things out, lose 5-4 in overtime. San Jose was up 3-0. They were up 3-0. They were out shooting LA at the time. The first 3 games, 14-7. The last 4 games, LA outscored them 18-5. You're talking about 2 completely different series.
And then in Game 7, which is played at home, they had a 1-0 lead.
They scored the first goal, and it was just a shellacking. LA beat them 5-1.
You think, how do you recover from that the next season?
And you wait all year to get back into the playoff. I mean, what do you do to get over something like that?
You're playing a very tough division. Shot tipped away by Redmond. They're in division with LA, the defending Stanley Cup champs. Anaheim, which is one of the best teams in the NHL this season. Couture shoots the puck behind the net for Marlowe. Cut off by Redmond. Up the wall, Vlasic pinches in. Grabs the puck with a nice play, but the bounce sends the puck into the center zone. Braun through the middle with a nice pass. Down the middle comes Wingels, cuts across. Bumped enough that he couldn't control the puck. Rolled around. Near side wall. Vlasic put it out in front. Scramble for the puck at the side of the Avs net. O'Reilly will get to it first for Colorado. Skates out to center ice. Broken up at the blue line. Couture. He gets tied up with the puck grabbed by Marlowe. Cuts in, followed by Couture, trying to chip it by. Haven couldn't do it. Again, takes the loose puck. Coming wide down the wing. Stripped away by Mueller. Bounced around the shelf. Tomas Hertl. Nice pass for Thornton. Skates over the line. He shoots in on Varlamov. And Thornton gets the rebound. Threw it out in front. That was a classic Thornton pass there, wasn't it?
I mean, he shouldn't have seen the man.
After the puck was blocked in front of the net. Avalanche moved to center. Pass comes across for Duchesne. Poke checked away, but Johnson deep in the zone. Gets the puck towards Duchesne. He gives to Johnson. He shoots, and Antiniemi with the save. And we'll be back. Niemi makes the save to stop the clock. 1-0 in favor of the Sharks in the second.
We're back at the Pepsi Center where the Sharks lead the Avs 1-0 in the second. And right now we're with Bob McGinn, a very proud father of Jamie McGinn and his son Ty getting into the game for San Jose. So what's it been like to watch both sons tonight?
It is extremely nerve-wracking. I find myself when Ty is on the ice, and I can see Ty and Jamie are on the ice together right now, so I don't know how this is going to go. But when Ty's on the ice, I'm cheering for the Sharks. When Jamie's on the ice, I'm cheering for the Avs, and I don't know what's going to happen right now. I'm nervous.
You know, I know it was such a great hockey family. These two are very, very close, just separated by 2 years. And Jamie flew out the grandparents, you flew yourself out, and your sister. How much does that mean to you to have his whole family watching this?
You know, it brings shivers up my spine just when you say that, because they're such amazing kids, and Ty and Jamie, they just wouldn't have it any other way. They really take care of us, and we're very blessed. And we got a younger one coming up too, so we're pretty excited about his hockey future as well.
So you're going to go see now Brock, who's in the Carolina system, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. He's in the American Hockey League. He was a second rounder with Carolina, and we're looking forward to seeing him and cheering him on, hopefully in the NHL real soon.
You guys are going to get a lot of frequent flyer miles. But thank you, Bob, so much for joining us. And congratulations on this great event tonight.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Of course, guys, back to you.
I want to see, Mike, do they still have those sunglasses? Those were great.
You know, you think about when they were that age, Peter, and every kid plays hockey at that age goes, you know, someday I'd like to be in the NHL. And for those parents sacrifice so much driving them to practices and games and the money that is spent, and then be able to sit in the stands tonight and watch all those hours of sacrificing and the talk. I'm sure around the dinner table, I can't wait to go to the NHL. Okay. And it happened. What a wonderful story.
But you know what else I found yesterday talking with Jamie? If you're a dad, you're proud of your sons. What good people they are. You know, because he was so happy for his brother. I'm telling you, you could feel how happy he was for his brother going to get his, get a chance to play against each other. And he was saying that Brock is the most skilled of the three. That's what Jamie was saying. He said he gets under your skin, but he's a really talented guy. So they got one more.
You can just imagine all those street hockey games, all those pond hockey games against each other. Now it's happening for real in the National Hockey League. Avalanche down 1-0 to San Jose. A first period goal from Mirko Mueller that was originally given to him and then changed during the intermission and given to Brent Burns. He tipped that shot by Mueller. So Burns with the goal from Mueller and Thornton at 9:23 of the first period. San Jose had 23 shots in the first period. Things have calmed down a little bit here in the second. There's only been 2 shots for San Jose. That's doing a much better job not allowing San Jose to get shots on net. Behind the cage is Duchesne. Centers. That's broken up in front by Mueller. Up ice for Pavelski. Wrapped around the wall. Avs have had a power play chance, not able to cash in. Thornton cutting across, moves in, and separated from the puck. Talbot scooped it along the backboards for Holden to take. Up the wall, Vlasic keeps it in play. Holden got it back for the Avs.
Good to see Hurdle back, Mike. He went to the locker room briefly, but back on the ice.
Shot head high, knocked down by Varlamov. And a race for the puck to the corner. Centering try by Burns, broken up. Avalanche on the move. Stewart lobs the puck in wide. First to it, McKinnon with that speed of his, he was able to get to the puck. Gives to McKinnon. There's a chance for McKinnon, knocked away from the puck. He was trying to charge to the front of the net. That was Hurdle. So Hurdle and McKinnon coming together right in front of the San Jose net. McKinnon went to the Avalanche bench, left his helmet on the ice. Sharks with the puck in the Avs zone. Turnaround shot by Ty McGinn. Shot saved by Varlamov. And the rebound comes up high and carried to center. Danny Briere into the zone. He winds, he shoots, and the blocker save made by Niemi. Down to center. Ada will take it back for Colorado. And then out to center ice. Bursch and McLeod get angry at each other, and some other players come in to join the party.
Well, it was last. We'll get to the story last game, but
Bernie's Dog Park on the main concourse behind section 126 during the upcoming
he's a
session. Bring your family by. Get an autograph from Bernie, the Avalanche mascot.
We'll be back with more second period play. About 9 minutes left to go in the second. San Jose leads the Avalanche 1-0. Time for the Timberland Pro Hard Hit Highlights.
For the San Jose Sharks, they've been driving the net, doing a good job. The Avalanche are trying to bounce back and be a little more physical here in this second period. They've done a much better job offensively. McKinnon just about has a scoring opportunity right there. Then right at the end of the period, or end of the play there, Cody McLeod. Never mind how many fights he's been in. How many times has he been in the center of one of those things where his helmet's all pushed off to the side?
And he's chatting. The shots in the first period, 23-8 in favor of San Jose. Here in the second period, things have turned around. 6-4 advantage for the Avalanche at this point.
This has sort of been the pattern for San Jose. They were tremendous first periods, and then they slow down.
Burns shot. Shepard's got it. He hands it off to Nieto. Turns it around the boards. Shepard will get to it. Comes out from behind the net. Sends it back to the point for Burns. Looking for an opening. He shoots. And that puck gets to the net in a hurry. Off of Varlamov. And Mueller, the defenseman, deep in the zone. Dropped it along the boards for Tierney to take. Turns and shoots. Stick save made by Varlamov. Hannon punches the puck back behind the Avalanche net. Pile of players there. Tierney has the puck around the boards. Waiting at the point. The Mariners to Tierney. Back to the Mariners. One-timer. Knocked down. And the shot gets stopped. Clearing attempt. But wait a minute. There's a penalty on the Avalanche. Well, Varlamov continues to sparkle. He has been very busy and very good tonight.
Call out a penalty to a minor hooking.
In a period where the Avalanche have sort of righted themselves as far as defensively, now you got a big key moment inside of this game. The penalty killing has been terrific so far this year, especially here at home, and this is another big opportunity, Mike, and it puts such pressure on your, the penalty killing when you're not scoring. The Avalanche are second fewest as far as goals for in the Western Conference, and all those little things make it nerve-wracking for your penalty killers.
San Jose 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. This is their second opportunity. They had 2 shots last time. Thornton, so dangerous. His pass got ricocheted up the middle. Marleau stretched but could not keep it in. Back across for Thornton. Scissors a pass across for Couture. Centered for Pavelski. Shot, diving save made by Varlamov. He has just been absolutely amazing tonight. This is the Semyon Varlamov we saw so many games last year, and why he was one of the Vezina Trophy candidates.
And why he ended up as the #1 non-center iceman as far as votes in the Hart Trophy, which goes to most valuable player. 4th in voting last year for the Hart Trophy. An award that never goes to a goaltender. It did a couple of times to Hasek when he was with the Buffalo Sabres, but it had been a long time between goaltenders.
Boy, that was some save. That was one of his best saves he just made a moment ago on that dive across. Sharks on the power play. And the Avalanche able to clear. Hayda snapped it down the ice. Niemi will leave it there for Pavelski to take. The Avalanche penalty killers, Tanguay, Cleach, along with Johnson and Hayda. Tanguay has the puck. Threw it back behind him for Hayda to take. Gives to Johnson. Takes his time. Shoots the puck ahead. The Avalanche have got a chance here. Tanguay cuts across. He's there. He shoots. He's gone! Alex Tanguay! And the Avalanche with a short-handed goal that tied it up at 1. What a play for Tanguay.
Now, you got to run it back to when Erik Johnson has the puck. He sees Tanguay up the ice, and he lobs it all the way down, hoping for a little break like that. It just bounced off Burns, and then Tanguay, that was Logan Couture back there, Mike, the forward. And when a guy like Tanguay is coming in, he is so slipped. The hesitation come across, pokes it, nice move, wing, bang. I mean, that is vintage Alex Tanguay right there. Now points in the last 6 games for the Avalanche, and that may have been the biggest point so far.
Alex Tanguay, a shorthanded goal, the team's second shorthanded goal of the season. Erik Johnson gets an assist. And the Avalanche have tied this game up at 1. And Tanguay, as Peter pointed out, on a 6-game point streak, that's 4 goals and 2 assists during that stretch. You can also add an assist to Jan Hayda. And the goal coming at 13-24.
But we have to go all the way back to that save. Yep. By Varlamov. I mean, just the ability to make those saves and keep your team in it, and then all of a sudden you make a play, and in a game where the shots are basically 2-1, you're even.
I think you go back to the first period, that sequence where there were 4 shots around the net, and the save that he made. Sharks going power play time, 35 seconds left to the point for Vlasic. Shot by Hurdle. Blocked by the Avs Stewart. And the puck is cleared out of the zone.
Stewart had 7 blocks amongst the 34 blocks the Avalanche had last game.
1-1. Offside San Jose. 2-1 margin in terms of the shots, 32-15, but this game tied up at 1.
When you look at this, some of the scoring streaks for the Avalanche, Tyson Barrie 4 games, Jamie McGinn goals the last couple, but now for Alex Tanguay, like really starting to round into form. And that's the kind of play right there when he made that little move and that he couldn't have made the first 5 or 7 games because it just wasn't, the hands weren't quite there. That was just Alex Tanguay at his best.
And getting that penalty killing time.
Yep.
Showing confidence, put him in there on the penalty kill, and it pays off.
He's the most, versatile forward for the Avalanche right now as far as power play, penalty killing, even strength.
Power play done for San Jose. Avs kill the penalty. They get a shorthanded goal and tied up the game. Shot floats high off the backboards, clubbed at by O'Reilly. Gets it back from Duchesne to the point for Hejda. His shot got blocked, kept alive right between the circles. And Ty McGinn trying to use his glove to get the puck out of the zone, able to do so. For Burge, pushed it ahead, but they're saying his hand was outside the zone when he pushed it ahead, so that is a hand pass. Alex Tanguay with a shorthanded goal, and it's 1-1.
Mike, from the first time you saw Alex Tanguay play for the Colorado Avalanche in training camp way back when, you knew that he had something special. And this is a great example of it right here. The Avalanche get the puck. Johnson sees that Tanguay is all the way down the ice. Puck back. Look, Johnson sees him. Now he circles high and wide. He comes in behind. Burns just misplays it for a second. And then the forward is caught. And wait. And that's just the great hands. I've said it before and I'll say it again. As far as passing forwards, only Forsberg and Sakic have been better of all the players who have ever played for the Avalanche.
That's a pretty good company there. And you know what? No matter how the rest of his career goes, and it's been a terrific one, he'll always have in his back pocket he scored a game-winning goal in the Stanley Cup in Game 7. You know what? When you're 80, you're sitting around telling stories. That's the one you reach in the back pocket for.
That's the big one around the old campfire, you know. Dad or grandpa, whatever. Tell us about the night.
You won the Stanley Cup for the Avalanche.
2 goals and assists and a 3-1 victory in the Stanley Cup Game 7. I mean, and you can spice it up too. In the night that Ray Bourque won his Stanley Cup after all those years.
But that first goal that he scored that night, Peter, when he came around from behind the net, and Drew, I don't know how that puck went in, but what a goal that was.
And it's hard.
Shot by Pavelski. Will go off the glass and then glances out of play.
It's hard to beat Brodeur high because he rolls those shoulders, he stays so tall, but he waited till the perfect moment. It just dropped enough and threw it top shelf.
Thornton against Mitchell for the faceoff. Semyon Varlamov has been the story tonight for the Avalanche. What a night. 32 saves already. Pass across. Landeskog rink wide. Avs trying to spread up the offense a little bit. Burns moves the puck up the wall. Out to center ice. Thornton gets harassed by Tanguay. The puck though taken back by Thornton. That big body. Then he gets hit from behind by Landeskog and knocked down. He gets back up, digging for the puck. Tanguay's got it underneath him. It comes free from Pavelski. Back to the point for Mueller. Cross for Burns. Shoots. Save. Rebound is there. Oh, what a save again. And we've got a penalty. What a shot from the point, and brilliant save, especially on the rebound by Varlamov.
Mike, you can tell that a guy has a special shot from the point when they can't control the rebound. The goaltenders will spend hour upon hour deflecting shots into the corners, deflecting everything. But when a puck comes through, Al McGinnis was obviously one of the greatest because he had that bomb. Chara has a bomb. Weber certainly has it. But we're seeing Burns. I mean, he's got that kind of dangerous shot where all a goaltender can do is hope that it hits him, and then you got to get help from your defensemen and your forwards.
And then it results in the scramble around. A penalty gets called. Landeskog is in the penalty box. A cross-checking penalty called at 15:54. So Landeskog in. Bears down the slot. Back in a great save. Rebound. No! I can't believe what I'm seeing. That was amazing. Semyon Varlamov. There's a phrase. He's standing on his head when they talk about goaltenders that are playing fantastic. He's not only standing on his head, he's spinning around on his head.
Well, that little lull where San Jose wasn't getting many scoring chances or shots on goal has ended. They're starting to put some numbers up again. Wow.
Varlamov, though, unbelievable. Over the line comes Wingle. Shipped into the corner. Tipped in front. Shot by Wingles. Another great save by Varlamov. He didn't just sit back. When that puck came out to Wingles, he was coming out of the net in a hurry.
Let's go back to not this save. But to the save before, where he comes across and gets the pad hard on the post. Boy, he does that well. Like your son is a goaltender. You know just how hard those type of plays where you can just leave your pad there and he's so strong. And here's the save. Again, coming out after the puck in perfect position.
Puck comes out to center ice. Pavelski's got it. 1 minute left. In the penalty on Landeskog. Cross-checking penalty. Thornton scoops up the puck. Circles behind the net. That's where he gets dangerous. And he comes out in front. He shoots high. Back to the corner. O'Reilly for the Avalanche. Met by a couple of Shark players. Helped out by Heda. 40 seconds left in the penalty. The puck comes to McLeod. He'll take as much time as he can. Gets into the neutral zone, then shoots it in. Niemi out to play it. Pavelski picks up the puck. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty. Long pass doesn't connect. Icing called on San Jose. 4 shots for the Sharks. Varlamov with 4 saves on this penalty kill.
Well, and we've hit 40 as far as shots on goal for San Jose. 2 things. Both clubs realize how well Varlamov is playing. If you're the Avalanche, it's like, okay, let's go now. We just need 1 play and we'll be ahead. For San Jose, you start overshooting. That's you start trying to get too fine with everything, or you're looking for that extra pass.
Start seeing the shots go high. Yeah. Trying to find that top corner. Puck bouncing out to center. Charging after is Mitchell. He's got one of the 2 short-handed goals this season. Penalty over on Landeskog. Gives to Ty McGinn. Landeskog out of the box. Now has the puck. Hand off to Tanguay. Back to Landeskog. Fights his way down the boards. Puck comes to Tierney. He'll lob it out over the head of Redmond. Back into the Colorado zone. No icing. Zach Redmond carrying the puck to center. He's got some time, some room. Landeskog has the puck. Cross ice over the line for Iginla. Bouncing puck towards the end. Goes back behind the net. And the puck comes free. Braun will take it. Pass up ice for Burns to take. Bounce it off the boards. He'll charge to the corner. Joined by Nieto. And they all crashed in back behind the net. Along with Barry and Redmond. Kept in at the point. Burns winds. Block. And the puck picked up by Duchesne. He's using his speed to get in. And poke check perfectly by Mueller. Quick pass up ice for Nieto. Works his way down the boards. Redmond rides him off the puck momentarily. They charge it back to the point. We're in the final minute of the period. Nieto turns and shoots. That's stopped in front of the net. Grabbed by Johnson. Reversed it up the wall for O'Reilly. Up ice goes Iginla. Bounce pass towards Iginla. He's got it. Iginla cutting in. He shoots off the chest of Niemi. Couture takes a hit from Iginla. Duchesne with the puck. Punch straight. Couture lost it to O'Reilly. Pass behind the net. Intended for Iginla. Bounced away from him. And out to center ice. Backing up Johnson. Gives to O'Reilly. Pass back into his own zone. Avalanche moving the puck. Iginla over the line. Sends it across for Duchesne. Checked hard by Vlasic. Centering try. Caught a skate. 15 seconds. 1 more rush perhaps. Oh boy. Johnson had his man lined up. Here's a chance. Last second. Save made by Varlamov.
Now there was some exciting hockey, both ends of the ice. Then there was some great stuff right there. Johnson just missed. And here, Marleau, who's been off to another sensational start. 12 points, second in scoring in the league. Behind only Tyler Seguin. What a start he's had in Dallas.
Last chance, blocked. Burns can't get a shot away, and there's the horn. The only goal during that period belongs to the Avalanche. 41-17 shot advantage. Already Varlamov with 40 saves in this game. San Jose outshot him 18-9 in the period.
Yeah, but he's had a pretty good track record against this club. He's 3-0-2 in his last 5 decisions against San Jose. And Mike, but what a vintage performance by Semyon Varlamov.
2 periods of hockey. It's 1-1. Alex Tanguay had the only goal, came shorthanded for the Avalanche in the second. Stay tuned for the Subaru intermission report. Colorado Avalanche hockey on altitude is brought to you by Groove Subaru on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Now at your Honda dealer. Pepsi. Proud to support the Colorado Avalanche. Pepsi, live for now. And by the Ford Explorer. It's time you did your exploring. Ford Explorer, go further. Avalanche get a shorthanded goal from Alex Tanguay at 13:24 the second period after Semyon Varlamov had made some brilliant saves. In fact, Peter, he's made 40 total in this game.
Yeah, for the first 7-8 minutes of the period, the Avalanche did a pretty good job of shutting down or slowing down the San Jose Shark attack. But then, boy, it just started coming again like it did in the first period. And he was reaching up. I mean, he made a save with every single part of his body. And a big save. I mean, he was flashing the pads, down low, able to find the puck right there. He just sticks a leg up. Marleau can't punch it by. And then Marleau late, I mean, trying to find somewhere to shoot against Varlamov, but he kept him in long enough, Mike, where a shorthanded play. Alex Tanguay, as he said in his interview with Julie, he saw it was a forward. He knew it was a forward back there. He took advantage of the situation and tied it up for the Avalanche.
But you don't do that without Varlamov doing what he did during that period. So here we go, the third period. Anybody's game, even though the Avs are being outshot by a 41-17 margin. It is 1-1. These two teams only played twice this season, with San Jose in the Pacific Division holding 2 games against each other. They won't play again until April 1st in San Jose. Last year they played 4 times against each other.
Yeah, the schedule is just sort of changes, obviously, every single season. Those clubs in that Pacific Division that you're going to play more times.
Pass at center ice. Now, if Colorado scores in the third, you score the Subway. Visit your local Subway restaurant tomorrow. Get any regular 6-inch sub for just $3 after 3. An offside play. Bring the face off in the neutral zone. Avalanche did last change. And they are sending out Nathan MacKinnon's line.
Well, it is the Avalanche record is 56 shots on goal. That was Semyon Varlamov in a 6-4 loss to the Edmonton Oilers in the lockout season.
Backhanded ahead by Tyson Barrie. Cut off in the corner by McKinnon. It comes free. Thornton gets it back, ruled away from him, followed though by defenseman Scott Hannon. Leads in the corner for Thornton to take. This pass blocked by McKinnon and taken away by Talbot. Got it up ice for McGinn to take. Backhands the puck in. Tomas Hertl going to pass along the inboards. Bounce free, back for Hertl. Lead pass for the defenseman Demers. Up ice for Pavelski. Slip away from a hit from Johnson. Drops the puck in the Colorado zone. Mitchell for the Avalanche. Backhanded around the wall. Cut off in the half boards. Burns reaching in for San Jose. Then Hayden for the Avalanche. Behind the net pass for Johnson. Shoots it down the ice. Icing. Hold on the Avalanche. We're about 2 minutes in to our third period with the game tied at 1. Now, why should you hug an angler? Proceeds from fishing and hunting licenses go towards conserving Colorado's natural beauty. Give them a hug, say thanks, go to huganangler.com and learn more.
Just to get one last thought on those shots on goal again, Mike. Ron Tugdeck, back in March of '91, in a 3-3 tie with the Boston Bruins, made 70 saves. I've seen highlights of the third period of that game. It's comical. I mean, they're just raining shots on it. That's the heyday of Bork Neely, and oh my goodness.
Got by Couture, and diving Landeskog blocked it. Couture gets it again. Bounces down low for Wingels. He stumbles on his own, but able to play the puck back for Braun. Tip in front. The puck floats high in the air, drops off the shelf, and rolls to the near side half board. Along the end boards for Couture. Chopped around, blocked by Marleau. Puck squirts free. Carried up by flight Landeskog. Tanguay to his left. Pass broken up at the line. Offside, Colorado.
Well, it's one of those games. I mean, there'll be a lot to look at for the Avalanche. But the point is, right now, Mike, you're even. I mean, you can't look at up at the scoreboard and go, we're getting outshot, bad, whatever. It's 1-1. And again, these are the learning times for a hockey club. It's 1-1. Your goaltender's done it fine. It doesn't matter. Now you've got to go. Someone's got to make a play. And these are the kind of games that the Avalanche, need to win. I mean, San Jose certainly right now deserves to be the club that's ahead, but they're not because of Semyon Varlamov.
This game is right there to steal.
Absolutely, and that's what you have to be able to learn to do. When your goaltender gives you a performance like this, you really put it together for the third period, and somebody finds a goal.
In a weird way, Peter, you almost owe it to him.
Oh, half the crowd would be gone if the score is what it should be. I mean, this has a chance to be one of those ones where, okay, we get back within one game of 500. We got another home game. We got some more games at home here. I mean, let's get going.
Pass through the middle from Landeskog. Coming wide. He shoots. He scores! There it was. Right there for the captain. Gabe Landeskog with his 4th goal of the season. And the Avalanche have the lead here in the third, 2-1.
Just a terrific shot. It seemed to be a little bit of a bad angle, but Landeskog comes in, goes strong to the net, and punches one to the far side, and that his 4th goal of the season. And that is the biggest one that he's scored so far, because now all of a sudden there's some energy in this building, and now you've got an opportunity to set the tempo for the rest of this period.
On the first shot of the period, you get the goal, and it's Landeskog. The Avalanche have a 2-1 lead here in the third period. In the corner, Tierney with the puck for San Jose. Cycles it down low, back towards Tierney from Shepard. Moves behind the net, wrap around, comes wide. Demers in the slot. Back high, shot by Burns. Blocked and carried up ice by McKinnon. Poke checked away. As we show you our Subway scoring summary. The goal by Landeskog at 3:04. And that ties him with Tanguay for the team lead. Ryan O'Reilly, Jan Hejda with the assists. The Avalanche lead this one 2-1. And if you're the San Jose Sharks, you can't believe it.
And that's the shock factor that goal gives for the Avalanche. And now you start rolling. How about Jan Hejda? A couple of assists in tonight's game.
Icing called on San Jose. Face-off going back in the Shark zone after the captain has given the Avs the lead.
Let's go back to the goal. And this is just one of those power moves that Gabe Landeskog makes. Nice pass by O'Reilly across ice. Right here. Cuts in, stays wide. I mean, that's Burns, who was on him. Burns had to stick in a pretty good position. Landeskog just made a great shot.
McKinnon wins the faceoff. to Stewart. He shoots. That one comes through the top of the crease. Back to the point for Holden. Lobs at the corner for McKinnon. This followed a bit of a pattern for San Jose for those great first periods. They certainly had the effort. But then in the third period, they've been outscored.
2-1. They've been outscored in the third period.
Back for the puck, Vlasic, up ice. Wingle tips the puck in. Clearing attempt, grabbed by Eric Johnson. Finds Mitchell. Skates onside. His pass broken up. Couture out to center ice. Wingles closing on him is Hayda. Wingles cut around him. Down the middle for the trailer. The shot. Bing off the post. Rebound scored. And the game is tied at 2 on Logan Couture's goal. His 5th of the season, and it's 2-2.
Well, for Couture, Mike, this is one of those plays where you don't want to say it's lucky, but if it bounces off the post and it comes right to the guy. Nice play across the board. But he was able to come in, punch it, and just fire it home. The Avalanche have guys down low, but no one on Couture. We're seeing tonight a pretty good look at Couture and how good a hockey player he is. That one time that he broke down the left side and just basically skated himself into a quick almost breakaway. Right there, finds that puck.
So, game tied up at 2. Here's your Subway scoring summary. 5:03 at the time. 5th goal for Couture. Tommy Wingles, Justin Braun get the assist. 2-2 hockey game. Out at center ice. Handled by Thornton. Turns back into his own zone. Cross ice pass for Mueller through the middle. Pavelski moving down, hurdle, stops, cuts. He was tripped by Redmond. That will be a penalty on Redmond. And the Sharks 0 for 2 tonight. Excuse me, 0 for 3 tonight on the power play. We'll get another opportunity.
Boy, that's a nice passing play. Boy, oh boy, they moved the puck well, efficiently through the neutral zone. Redmond coming off the bench on a change, Mike. You're really caught in a tough spot. Thornton across, and all of a sudden, touch. Mike, there's a play. What a touch pass by Pavelski to Hurdle, who was all the way up the ice, and Hurdle does a nice job of cutting back on Redmond. Draws a penalty.
Habs have killed 3 penalties and have scored a shorthanded goal. Thornton, nice pass. Pavelski, save made by Varlamov. Oh my, has he been great. Back towards the Marleau side of the net for Thornton, centered in the slot. Pavelski shoots, and once again, like a brick wall, Semyon Varlamov makes the save.
You look at a power play like this for the San Jose Sharks, and you see the hockey hands that are on display for this power play.
You almost wonder why they don't score every time.
I was going to say, you would think it would be a 50% the way they throw that thing around.
But we have Semyon Varlamov, O'Reilly, Tanguay, Johnson, and Hayden, the penalty killers for the Avalanche. Burns through center, and the puck cleared away by the Avalanche. Pavelski back to get it. Marleau will take it. He'll carry down the wing. Push the puck by Holden. Met though by Hayda. And the puck picked up by Holden. Trying to clear, but kept in just barely by San Jose. Then Thornton challenged along the boards. He is tough to contain though. Has the puck. Moving across with a pass. Got tipped. Banged around the shelf. Waiting is Thornton. He just gives himself some room with that big body. But O'Reilly played him perfectly. He feeds ahead for Talbot coming in. He shoots. Glove saved by Niemi. And forced to hold it for a face-off. Nice play.
Good play by Talbot right there. Looks like it's sort of, basically just a shot on goal. But no, then he drives to the net. Niemi can't hand that puck up so that the San Jose can head down the ice. It's just one of those, they always talk about those little things. Well, here's one of the little things. Instead of cutting into the corner, he cuts right in front. Niemi can't do it, so the Avalanche get to change all 4 guys, and there's no quick flow down the other way.
Sharks do win the faceoff. 40 seconds left in Redmond's penalty. Pass through the middle, grabbed by Wingles, down the slot, played off the boards, and a steal and a clear by the Avs. Well, the penalty killing's been so good. What a story it's been this year for the Avalanche. So impressive, this penalty killing. Through the middle for Tommy Wingles. Pass over the line, bounced ahead. Well, the Avs just gave him no room at the blue line to get in. Cleared out again by the Avalanche. And the penalty killing. Well, Love made a couple saves, but it's been the rest of the group on this penalty kill.
Absolutely. That great play right there. But Stewart comes across to his offside, take the man, and Johnson to the other defensive partners right there.
Duchesne will get to the puck. Out of the box comes Redmond, so a great penalty kill. Sharks are 0 for 4. They had 2 shots during that last power play. Here's a chance. Oh! What a save by Niemi. Robbed him with the glove. Well, both goaltenders sparkling tonight. That time Niemi using the glove. We are tied at 2 with just over 12 minutes left in the third. Let's answer the Stevenson Automotive Did You Know question. We asked you in the first period, how many brother duos have played at least 1 game this season? Total of 11 is the correct answer.
You think back over time, the Sutter brothers have to be, I think, the most famous of the brother groups. There you go, right there. Jamie Benn and Jordy Benn play on the same team in Dallas. So that, I mean, that's got to be sort of a special arrangement for them. And of course, the Sedins, Henrik and Daniel in Vancouver.
Shot through traffic, and another glove save made by Antti Niemi. Another face-off in the San Jose zone.
Well, that was about the classic all-time forecheck by Gabe Landeskog. You go in and you absolutely crush the man off the puck, and then you play his hands as well as the body, so he loses control of the puck, and then Mike, your head is turning towards the play, so that he can't stop. That was textbook forechecking by Gabe Landeskog, and O'Reilly was right there, snapped it. Yeah, I mean, that's by far his best save.
Pavelski and McKinnon for the faceoff. Right again. Sharks end up with the puck. Jumping up. Tomas Hertl ships the puck ahead. Coming back behind the net. Johnson got to it for the Avalanche. Sends it up the middle and out to center. Flipped ahead. Avalanche get it back in the middle circle. Pass to Jamie McGinn. Slapped around. Hertl didn't get it out of the zone. Avalanche keep possession. Nailed around the wall. McGinn bounces off the backboards. Has possession of the puck. Skates into the corner. Dropped along the boards. Nice shoulder used by McKinnon to protect the puck. Gets away. Handoff. Circling behind the net. Johnson turns and shoots. Loose puck in front. And snatched up by the Sharks. Pass kicks off a skate out to center. Good strong shift there for the Avalanche. You also got a good look, Peter, there, how strong Nathan McKinnon is back behind the net. Used his shoulder to give himself a little room. Loose puck behind the cage. Tierney. Reversal. Trying to center. Goes off the side of the Avs net. Still loose at the side of the net. And a race for the puck. All guys were going down to the ice, but Talbot reached. Was able to push the puck free, and the Avs are on the move. Redmond nails it in. Right at the side of the net. Mitchell, good pressure, gets to the puck. Flipped it across for Tanguay to take. To the point for Redmond. Flipped it across for Barry. Put it along the end boards for Tanguay. Avalanche moving the puck around. Redmond shot. Pinball wide of the net. Avalanche, last couple of shifts have been good in the San Jose zone.
Real
active. The Sharks ice the puck. They can't change up some tired players.
Real active and real aggressive on the puck. You look at Nathan McKinnon, just 19 years old, using that strength. You know, it was well documented that he put on 10, 12 pounds of real muscle over the course of the season. And then Redmond, Mike, he just continues to impress with the way that he has played in tonight's game. Again, his 3rd game with the Avalanche.
Puck will be carried out to center ice by Brent Burns. Oh, no! Reaches the red line, snaps it around. That allows the Sharks to change up. They want to get some tired guys off the ice. Duchesne. Pass for Holden. Up. Center ice. Bounce back. Wingles. Hand off. Back towards Wingles. Broken up. And it kicks back towards the wall. O'Reilly. Plays off the wall for Duchesne to take. Got Landeskog with him. Broken up by Hannon. His pass kept in by the Avalanche. Landeskog shoots and right into the chest of Antti Niemi. And we'll take a timeout. A little over halfway through the third. Tied at 2. San Jose started the game guns a-blazing with 23 shots in the first period, but all they had to show for that was 1 goal scored by Brent Burns. In the second period, Sharks on the power play. Tanguay, second team shorthanded goal this season. We're tied at 1 into the third period. Landeskog coming wide, finds the inside part of the outside post, and then off the post, and puck comes to Couture. That was just 2 minutes after the Landeskog goal. It tied up the game at 2. And that's where we're at with 9:35 left in the third period. 44 shots for San Jose, 22 for the Avalanche. But what matters is the scoreboard, and it's tied up at 2. Anybody's game. Shot, and the save made. That was Ty McGinn taking the shot on Semyon Varlamov.
Well, the Avalanche, that's only the 4th shot that they have allowed in this period. So they have tightened things up considerably defensively here in this third period.
Well, they spent more time down in the San Jose zone.
Oh, absolutely. And they've had, they've had some pressure. What a save. He made it. I mean, that was a big one on O'Reilly.
Thornton against Mitchell. False start. Thornton tossed out. And Joe Pavelski will take the face-off. On the draw, Avalanche get it. Pass up ice for Talbot. To Mitchell. Coming down the wing. Shot. Stick save. Knocked down with the glove by Tanguay. Comes free for Mitchell. Back to the point. Shot by Johnson. Head high. Round for Talbot. Boy, the Avs again moving the puck, getting possession of the San Jose zone and controlling things. Johnson centering pass. Back in. Hit the post. It's loose in front. Still loose. Oh, my. What a chance there for the Avalanche. And the bouncing puck comes out to center ice. Handled by Johnson. A little flip pass for Mitchell. Backhanded in.
Right, Talbot's arms just weren't quite long enough. He swung back at the puck. No one was in nets.
How about the effort by Mitchell in the corner? What an effort there. He gives the puck to McGinn. Centering. Blocked. Swatted around. But Stewart is waiting. Again, the Avs are now tilting the ice towards the Sharks' end and putting pressure. McGinley. Back to the point. One-timer blocked by Shepard. Nieto pushed the puck ahead. It's a race. And first to it, Stewart, Avs defenseman. Round for Demers in front. Shot by Morrow. Safe. Rebound. Knocked down. It's still loose. Boy, both teams have had some chances here in the third period. Demers. McKinnon closing on him. Makes a pass for Marlowe. McKinnon stole away the puck. He steps around. He's there. He shoots. Blocked. Saved. And the puck comes wide of the net. Back up the boards. Hayda slides it across for Johnson. He shoots. Tipped by McGinn. The puck goes wide of the net. And it rolls behind. Avs have got it again. McGinn centers. Comes all the way back up high. Shot. Oh, it got blocked in front. Ricochet. Avs are all over San Jose right now. McKinnon. Shot down. Demers off the boards. Marlowe. Look at the Avs keeping the puck inside the zone. They are hungry right now, this Avalanche team. Demers lost the puck. It's loose in front. Backhander side. Picked up by Johnson. The Avs are really controlling it. Shot. Glove. Saved by Niemi. Wow, the Avs having a shift.
What a tremendous effort. I mean, Erik Johnson was all over the zone for the Avalanche. And you just look at some of the chances Jamie McGinn almost puts this one home. Back through there. There was a chance earlier for Talbot. This is a play right there by Johnson, right in front. And there's the one that Talbot, Mike, just swung at and just couldn't quite get a piece of it.
But the Avalanche is all over San Jose right now. Puck knocked down. Hurdle shifted ahead. Played with a high stick, though.
Well, this is what you wanted from the Avalanche. You wanted, okay. We came out to start this third period. We were not happy with it. Alex Tanguay said, you know, it's been Semyon Varlamov and it's kept us in this game. Well, now it's the other way. Niemi, now Varley's had a couple of good saves in this period, but Niemi's been terrific. Just that one by Landeskog's gotten by him.
Habs out shooting the Sharks 9-5 in the period. 2-2. 6:40 to go. Pass through the middle. The Habs are just clogging things up and transitioning quickly from defense to offense. And once they get in the zone, they're moving the puck around. Johnson up off the boards. He's been really active. Turns and shoots, and that one just missed wide. Landeskog with the puck. Habs are all over the Sharks right now. With his Landeskog. The Habs look like they got the fresh legs. San Jose watching a lot. Saved by Niemi, and he covers the puck. It's the Sharks who are standing around while the Habs are moving the puck.
Talk about somebody very quietly having a great game. Jan Hayden, a couple of assists. I mean, he has been tough down low. He's been bouncing guys out, Mike, and he, you know, again, in a 2-2 game, a guy has a couple of assists, and yet you never mention. And that's just the way that he plays. He just night after night, he gives this club exactly what he can give them.
Burris taking the face off for the Sharks against Ginla. Burns rifles it around the boards for time again. Again, that pressure by the Avalanche. Sharks struggling to get out of the zone. Pass across. Ty McGinn. The McGinn brothers are out against each other right now.
Dad just got to be sweating bullets.
Right, especially the way this game's going. Could go either way right now. Back to the point. Shot ricocheted. And it's McKinnon's been flying tonight, trying to flip it ahead. Niemi, though, makes the safe play covering the puck. And then McKinnon draws the crowd. McGinley jumps in as well for the Avalanche. And here comes Max Talbot. But Burns making sure he doesn't join the crowd. Weinsman has settled things down, calming things down. Well, he did for a moment. Now it's starting to escalate a little bit. Ginla right in the middle. There are 3 Shark players and a linesman around Jerome Ginla. We'll come back, tell you what the penalties are when we return. 2-2 in the third.
Mike, a little bit of everything here in the third period. Some pushing and shoving. Of course, San Jose coming off a game. I think we're going to have matching minors, Mike, 2 minors for each club. Here's the play right here. McKinnon just gets it on Niemi. There's a little pushing, a little shoving and all that stuff. And then Ginla jumps in. Talbot jumps in. Of course, look at Talbot. He's going with Burns. I mean, and Burns is just big. There's just no getting around it. But Talbot's not about to give up. Burns thinks about 3 times at that case. Now I pushed him away. He's not going to come back. No, he just kept coming back and coming back.
Jerome Ginla, Max Talbot in the Avalanche penalty box.
San Jose penalties.
As Pavelski carries the puck to center ice for San Jose. Falling down. Hurdle at the blue line, couldn't receive the pass.
Avalanche penalties number 12.
Carried up by Duchesne.
2 minutes ago.
In the San Jose zone, O'Reilly wins the battle to the puck. Comes free, Landeskog, centered. Here's Johnson, blast one, save made. And again, here we go with the Avalanche in the San Jose zone. They've been so good here in this third period. Knocked down, pass out to center ice for Pavelski. Lobbed in on Varlamov. Mavs have got it. McKinnon flies out to center ice. Through the zone, cuts across, pulls up, waits for a little help, shoots, save! Oh, the rebound was there for McGinn, but it bounced too high.
Might get hit and just bounce over his stick.
Stewart sends the puck in. Icing ball on the Avalanche.
Jamie McGinn, Mikey's had a couple chances in this third period. And watch this again. McKinnon, Mike, best game of the year maybe, as far as just his presence on the ice and the puck. Because Tangate does a nice job of going to the net, ties up the defenseman. McKinnon gets it on net, and the rebound just hops over Jamie McGinn's stick.
Meanwhile, his brother, along with Brent Burns, sitting in the penalty box. And the puck covered by goaltender Semyon Varlamov. So McGinn and Burns for San Jose, Iginla and Talbot, all roughing penalties, sit in the penalty box. We continue 5-on-5 with 4:22 to go in the third period.
There's a picture of old friend Scott Hanna, Mike, who just recently played his 1,000th game. Spent almost 4 years here with the Colorado Avalanche, and I can't tell you that how many times the trainer said he played through everything.
Sharks win the draw. Shot knocked down in front of Varlamov and then iced by Colorado. Another faceoff in the Colorado zone coming up.
John Mitchell out there took the last faceoff for the Avalanche.
McKinnon.
This is against Couture.
Now it would be Mitchell. Excuse me. Yep.
Marleau moves in. They rotate the face-off guys a lot. It's not just one guy on one line for the San Jose Sharks.
There we see like Thornton, Pavelski.
Yep. They go back and
another
forth,
line.
depending on the dot.
Wingels take the face-off now for San Jose after Marleau tossed out of the circle. Put up the shelf. Wingels down the board for Marleau. Handoff to Couture. He turns and shoots. Sails high. Hannon backing up towards the blue line. Drills it around towards the near side corner. Demers pitched it in from the point. Keep it alive. Tipped away, but he chases the puck down. Pass back towards the point, and Hannon mishandles the puck. Avs want to change things up. Pass across for Wingels. San Jose offside. 3:43 left in a 2-2 game.
Well, for the Avalanche, Mike, they just continue to play these close games. They won a couple of games, but in the last 7, they've lost 2 by 1 goal. And they've had 3 games go into overtime where they've lost. So that's just everything. It's just that 1 play per game.
Last year, they led the league in 1-goal victories. And in overtime and shootout wins combined.
They were 15-4-4 in overtime. Unfortunately, this year, they're 0-3-0.
Out of the penalty box comes Iginla and Talbot. They're now available. And Burns and McGinn for San Jose out of their penalty box. Thornton against O'Reilly. To the middle circle for Braun. Slapped the puck in, took a hit from Landeskog. Varlamov out of the net. Stop it. Wheeled around by Johnson. Reversed back around. Braun trying to keep it from Landeskog. It comes out to center ice. Here's a chance for the Avs. Getting in over the line was Duchesne. Dropped the puck to the corner. Scooped up by Vlasic. Bounced it past everybody. And the Sharks. Oh, they've waved off the icing. Varlamov played the puck. Looked like it was going to be a face-off coming back in the San Jose zone. And changing things up. Quick pass up ice. Off the Burge. Steered away by Varlamov. Scooped on the fly by Holden. Off the glass and out to center ice and into the San Jose end. Mitchell forechecking. Burns. Pass up ice. Jordan. Pass got tipped. Kicked ahead by Ty McGinn. Turns and shoots. Missed the net. Burge And the puck bounced on him. Checked by Talbot of the Avs. The puck in the corner for Ty McGinn. Comes out of the corner. Reversed it back around. Cut off by Holden, Colorado. His pass lobbed out to center. Quick pass ahead for Burns. 2:10 left to go in the third period. Becomes a real interesting time of the game. 2 minutes left. Mitchell through center. Backhands it in. And change it up. Quick line changes for Colorado. Hannon up the middle. He got tipped by an Avalanche player right towards Varlamov. And he'll hold it for a face-off in the Colorado end.
Like at the start of the show, we talked about the McGinn brothers and the first time they've ever played against each other. Look to the game to this point. Ty McGinn certainly has played well. He had a shot, a hit, almost 9 minutes of ice time for Jamie McGinn. He has had two absolutely great opportunities here in this third period.
And Peter, they had a couple of shifts against each other too.
Yeah. Which they will be. Each one we say, I had you.
I had you lined up. I let you go.
I let you go.
Just because you're my brother.
Oh, Mike.
Landeskog down on top of the puck. What do we got?
They're going to confer, and I think they're going to say the stick got up. I think it's going to be one of the linesmen that saw it. I don't think the referees initially saw it.
They're going to put the face-off at center ice. No penalty call.
Let's have a look at it right here. No, from that angle, So again, I do love the rule, Mike. The referees and linesmen get together. They make the call to make the right call.
Avs get to the puck. And it's off of Vlasic into the bench, out of play. Got a 1:28 left to go in the third. 49 shots for the Sharks, Peter. That's the most shots against the Avs this season, surpassing an early effort by the Minnesota Wild.
Ooh, Michael, here's a call. There's a call right here. The puck was going along the boards, and the San Jose player punched it into the bench, but he was on the other side of the blue line. Now the faceoff, instead of being outside, is right down beside Niemi. Let's see what O'Reilly can do with this draw.
He'll take it against Patrick Marleau.
See, San Jose has argued that it hit off of that little rounded part of the glass.
And now there's going to be some talk.
Yeah,
the linesmen, the referees are talking. See Todd McClellan.
This is a big call. The referees know it. So that's
why
they
make sure they get it right.
Exactly, because the puck goes from outside the blue line to inside beside Niemi. That is a huge call.
They're leaving it there,
They're leaving it there.
This is huge. Well, can the Avs take advantage of this situation? McClellan still yelling at one of the referees. Puck is down, but the Sharks do get to it. Hooked around the glass and out. That's going to be an icing call, so another face-off. Sharks didn't touch the puck.
So it's sort of a continuation of that call. Let's keep an eye out for that, because for the Avalanche, like, you're down to a minute and 20. You're looking for face-offs in the other team's zone. And these are, if you get possession now, the way that you have been swarming, this is a great opportunity.
And on the draw, the puck comes to the wall. As first to it, Duchesne put it around the boards. Face down by Landeskog, cut off the echo against the boards. As they're all over him, they keep the puck. Oh, an incredible pass. Holden looked like he had set up with a lot of room in front of him.
He had 40 feet. He could have moved in.
Back together. We're in the final minutes of the third. Duchesne ahead. O'Reilly tipped it in. Duchesne first to the puck. To O'Reilly. Landeskog between the circles. Back to the point. Johnson over towards Hayda. Oh, he's got to come out to center ice. Johnson slams the puck around and circles the boards. Cut off by Burns. He's got some time as the Avs changing up some players. Pass up ice. Thornton sends the puck in. Cut off by Hayda. Put it off the glass. Settles back in the San Jose zone. 20 seconds to go. One more rush, perhaps. Oh, cut off by Iginla. Nice pass. He gets McKinnon. McKinnon coming wide. Curls to the boards. Still with possession. Shot wide of the net. Avalanche have got it. 10 seconds left to go. Iginla. Shot slowed up in front. Nemi dives on top of the puck. But there's time left to win a faceoff and get one more shot if you're Colorado.
Well, this is what the Avalanche have been doing all period long. They've been attacking the blue line. Nathan MacKinnon does a nice job, Mike, of using the fact that he's so fast. And he gets the guy to just back off enough, and then you can start to set some stuff up. But you're right, Mike, for the Avalanche, Mitchell, who's had a good period on the faceoffs, and they're just trying to arrange everything. They're trying to work it, Mike. Looks like to get Stewart the shot at the point.
Mitchell will take the face-off against Pavelski. Barry to Mitchell's left. And on the draw, the puck goes in the corner. And that'll be it. The third time in the last 4 games for Colorado, they're going to overtime. And the reason for the Avalanche, no doubt about it, Semyon Varlamov. He was spectacular through 60 minutes. He made 47 saves. We're headed overtime. Tonight's overtime being brought to you by Groove Subaru on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. In the first period, a lot of shots from San Jose. They had 23 of them. Only one, though, got by Varlamov. A tip by Burns. And into the second period, Avalanche responded. Short-handed. Alex Tanguay cut across. And with a beautiful move, he beats Niemi to tie the game. We go to the third period. Landeskog gives the Avs the lead with his 4th goal of the season. But just 2 minutes later, Logan Couture with his 5th goal of the season. That came at 5:03. Neither team able to score after that, even though the Avs were all over the San Jose Sharks for much of the third period following that second goal by the Sharks. But we're headed overtime for the 3rd time in the last 4 games for Colorado.
And the Avalanche sit right now coming into tonight, one of 6 clubs in the league that had not participated in a shootout to this point.
So the Sharks have had 2 games that went to overtime, but not decided in the overtime period that ultimately went to a shootout. We have 0 for 3 in overtime, as you can see. Well, the Sharks have not had a game decided in the extra period.
Interesting 3-game set on the road for San Jose. In Anaheim, where they had a wild game tonight. A wild game in a different way, certainly against the Colorado Avalanche. And then they go into the Minnesota Wild. How's that? How about Minnesota tonight? What a comeback that must have been for that team. They got beat last night 5-4 when they were ahead in the third period. 3-0. And they had given up 6 goals in the first 403 minutes of this season. They gave up 5 the last 17 minutes. Guess what they do tonight? They can fall behind to Boston 3-1. They come back with 3 third period goals and win it. That's a character win.
With also, you look at, Peter, with the victory, as you said, by Minnesota, and then Winnipeg also got a win. You're looking at a couple of teams in the Central Division that have picked up 2 points tonight, which to me increases the importance of this extra point. Now the Avs have picked up another point, but they sure would like what is out there right now, the extra one. Pass comes across, steered away by Varlamov. 4-on-4 for 5 minutes. Avalanche go with O'Reilly, Duchesne, Stewart, and Holden. Holden has the puck. Lots of room, some time. He finds Duchesne, moving up the wing. Checked by Thornton, steals away the puck. Threads a pass across from Mueller. Cutting down the middle, he shoots high. And got off a good shot, but it missed. Thornton back to the point for Mueller. Gives it back to Thornton. Oh, he stick handles his way into the neutral zone. Then darts back in onside. Gives to Marleau. Back to Thornton. Circles behind the net. Leaves it there for Braun. Centered in the slot. shot blocked nicely by Duchesne. Up high is Braun with the puck. Turns and shoots. Knocked down in front of the net. Avalanche have got it. O'Reilly twisting back. Sharks put out some of their dynamite there, but Avs have possession of the puck. Moving through center ice is Duchesne. One-on-one with Scott Hannon. Takes him wide, flips it backhanded to the net. Niemi drops it from his glove for Pavelski to take. Pass comes through the middle for Matt Nieto. Coming wide. Dumps it off the backboards around the wing. Chip back towards Nieto in the corner. Leaves it there for Pavelski. Pass in front, looking for a tip from the defenseman Hannon. Could not redirect it. Alex Tanguay up the wing for Mitchell. Into the San Jose zone. Taking off the puck. Sharks have got it. Scott Hannon. Lead pass to center ice. Over towards Couture. Sharks changing things up. Dropped off the boards. Back out to center ice come the Sharks. What is it about that left point on that side? The ice must be tilted because that puck's not staying in there. Little flip. Wengels. Shot. Blocked by Johnson. Wengels wins the race to the puck. Circles back behind the net with it. Fires a pass for Couture. Down the near side wing for Burns. Protects the puck. Makes the pass in the slot. Couture shoots. And that one deflects wide of the net. And around the end boards. Halfway through. Overtime. Carried up ice. McKinnon. Batted away from him. And back into the Avalanche end. Hayda will take the puck. Pass over for Tyson Barrie. Rink wide for McKinnon. Sprinting in, coming wide. Pearl stops, centers. Here's a chance. Barrie had a block. Another chance down low. And a save by Niemi. There was an opportunity for Tyson Barrie. Things getting a little feisty around the San Jose net. Maybe McGinn for the Avalanche in the middle of things.
The referee has he has a hammer in that situation. When you're pushing and shoving around a little bit right there, all he has to do is walk in, Mike, and say, you know what? First guy. I'm throwing one guy out if anything happens. Just one. You want to be that guy, go ahead. They're not going to call any double minors down there. You just say, hey, you want to go sit in the box the last minute 52 by yourself? I can arrange it.
That's not going to make your coach very happy. Somebody calling a timeout. I think we're going to see a timeout called by Coach Waugh. The Avalanche used their one allotted timeout with the face-off in the San Jose zone.
Just a quick point on overtime, Mike, just because I've had fans ask me, why don't you pull your goaltender in overtime when you have a face-off down low, or maybe you have a power play, get a 5-on-3. Well, if you pull the goaltender and the other team scores into the empty net, you lose the point. You don't get a point. Another team gets 2, you get none. They said so they didn't want teams just doing that and end up both teams pulling their goalies. Everybody, all kinds of pandemonium.
For the Avalanche, they're going to go after the timeout with Matt Duchesne, Ryan O'Reilly will take the faceoff, Eric Johnson and Jan Hayda. O'Reilly against Thornton for the draw. Sharks end up with the puck. Circled back behind the net by Braun, but Duchesne all over him. And the puck. What a play by O'Reilly. Here's Duchesne. And the puck dribbled away and covered. Oh, just when it looked like the Sharks were making their way out of the zone, there was an opportunity there for Duchesne.
Great individual effort by Duchesne right here. And watch when he gets the puck. Like what he's trying to do is set up the screen through the defenseman with the shot. Watch. 1, 2, 3. He was just ready to unload because he had the defenseman backing up, and he was far enough away where he could get the shot on goal.
Another face-off in the Shark zone. 1:39 left. Win on the face-off again by Thornton. Pass comes to Thornton. He'll skate down to center ice. Joined and crisscrossing with Marleau. They're onside. Thornton rolls back to the blue line with the puck. Thornton coming down the middle. His pass blocked. Loose puck in front. Chipped away. And kept in at the line by Mueller. He gave it away to O'Reilly, though. Johnson jumps up. He has the puck. Cutting across. Johnson has a stick knocked out of his hand. That'll be a penalty. Penalty on San Jose. 1:05 remaining, and the Avalanche will get a power play chance.
Well, Erik Johnson, Mike, came alive for the Avalanche. He, as much as anybody, represents what the Avalanche's resurgence from the third period. A tremendous third period for the Avalanche. Comes down hard, Marleau on the stick of Johnson, and now, minute 5. Now the Avalanche do not have a timeout.
3:55 the time of the penalty. Slashing called on Patrick Marleau. The Avalanche get the face-off. This time they won it. They control with his 4-on-3 power play chance for 1 minute and 5 seconds. McKinnon inching his way. Makes the pass. McKinnon one-timer, missed. And given right back. Shot by Barrie. Saved. Loose puck. Race for it. And cleared out by Couture. Just beat Barrie and Duchesne to that puck. Varlamov out to meet it. Gives to Barrie. And off to McKinnon. Comes in over the line. He cuts across. Circles behind the net. Goes over towards Duchesne with the pass. Braun for San Jose. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Kept in by Barrie. To Duchesne. His pass tipped. Controlled. 15 seconds left to go. Barrie. Cross side Duchesne. Shot wide of the net. Back around for Barrie. Cutting it across. High. One-timer. And it's off of Niemi. Centered. Shot. Chance. Down low. Shot saved by Niemi right at the buzzer. Duchesne with a chance at the last second. Niemi makes the save. And we are going to, for the Avalanche, the first time this season, a shootout. And we'll be back with that shootout. At Pepsi Center, it ends after 65 minutes, tied at 2. Shootout coming up. Time for tonight's shootout, brought to you by Groove Subaru. The home team coach gets to decide if he wants his shooter to go first or the opposing team. And it's going to be the Sharks. Patrick Marleau going first. He shoots, he scores on Semyon Varlamov. Now another thing to tell people about, Peter, it's changed this year. It used to be the coaches had to say ahead of time, who are my 3 shooters? You don't have to do that now.
The Avalanche obviously chose, usually a lot of times teams will choose to shoot first.
Yep.
They chose to shoot second.
Alex Tanguay, first shooter for the Avs. He shoots, and the save by Niemi. So the Sharks get a goal from Marleau on their first opportunity. And then Tanguay stops. Joe Pavelski, second shooter. 30 goals and 76 opportunities in his career in shootouts. Pavelski scores. Boy, he sent a hard wrist shot. And now it's going to be up to Matt Duchesne. If he does not score, San Jose wins. If he scores, the shootout will continue.
Number 9,
So Duchesne has to score for this to continue. Going wide, coming in, he deeps, and the save by Niemi, and San Jose prevails, and they pick up the second point. Niemi with 2 saves, 2 goals on 2 shots for San Jose, and they win the Groove Subaru shootout.
Well, sort of an anticlimactic ending almost. It seemed the Avalanche had fought so hard in that third period. It looked like they had the momentum. Niemi saving O'Reilly.
1 minute
power play.
65-second power play.
Yeah, and they could not convert.
number 39.
But I mean, Michael, you do have to get back to the idea that the first 2 periods, the Colorado Avalanche, I mean, it was Varley that kept them in. So
he got him a point.
He got him a point. Absolutely, he got him a point in tonight's game.
But Niemi was good too. He made the saves, especially there in the shootout. And the San Jose Sharks win it by a final score of 3-2, a shootout victory. We'll be back with you on Thursday when the Avs host the New York Islanders. Now let's get to the studio for the AutoNation Toyota Locker Room.